Hello, good morning, everybody. All right. I believe everybody can hear me loud and clear from where they are. So I'm saying good morning to Abolaji Jeremiah. Good morning, Administrator. Good morning, Akbo Favor. Good morning to Alfonso Sikediashi. Good morning to Brown Akinola. Good morning, Chinedu. Good morning, Dio. Good morning, Ekpemski. Good morning, Fajo Bikende. Good morning, Fatoki Florence. Good morning, for Chris. Good morning, Gideon Tubagbo. Good morning to Ifeanyi Chuku David. Good morning. Okay, Infinix X6516. All right, since you want to be addressed as that. Good morning, John Adifeso. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Kenny. Good morning, Namdi Mbata. Good morning, Oko Agnes. Good morning, Olariwaju Benga. Good morning, Philip Amas. Good morning to Razak Badmos. Good morning to Sharafaddin Omoni. Good morning to Soji Faro to me. Good morning, Stephen Lax Opulele. Good morning, Temi Tokwe. Good morning, Tunde Shitu. Good morning, Williams Aja. Good morning, Yusuf Rashidat. All right, so if you're just joining us and I didn't call your name, good morning to you. Yeah, good morning to you. So do not pick any offense. I did not call your name. It's because I didn't see your name on time. That is, you didn't join on time. But for everybody, whether you're just joining or you've joined before, I'm saying a very big good morning to you all. I acknowledge you. I see you from my own end, irrespective of wherever you are around the nation. Okay. So, yes, I can see on the chat, some of us will drop. Okay, Kenny is saying good morning, sir. Adeyemi Olalekan is saying good morning, sir. Jonathan, you also is saying good morning, sir. I see you all and I acknowledge you. Good morning to you. Thank you very much. So as it is now, we all know the drill. Normally, we want to do our checks back and forth to know that everybody is hearing us clearly. And from my greetings, I can see that Kenny, Adeyemi Olalekan and Jonathan, they've responded, so it means they can hear me loud and clear. But from your own end, if you're unable to hear me loud and clear, please kindly switch off your device, you on it again, or you change your location so you can hear me clearly. You can hear me clearly. All right. So that's that for that. And thank you very much for joining us once again. So we're going to start to look at the market to know how everything is going to be. And interestingly, the market has been so wonderful this week. It's been moving up and down. So for those that have been buying on a particular instrument, I'm saying congratulations to them all. And for those that have also been selling and been making good profit for themselves, that's a nice one. Interesting. So thumbs up to everybody and how the market has been moving. Right? So yes, we're going to start looking at the market fundamentally to know the news that is coming out for today. Then we move technically to see how the market is going to be moving. Also look at how the market has been moving of late, then try to do our analysis and we envisage to know if the market is going up or coming down. All right. Okay. So first thing first, we're going to look at how let me share my screen. So we'll look at the news, we'll see what has actually been happening based on news. Okay. All right. And I want to believe everybody from their own end able to see my screen because I'm sharing my device now. Yes. Okay. So as of this morning, we can see that okay, before I start for today, let's look at what happened yesterday. Let's go to yesterday. So yesterday, we had some interesting news coming out. First, around 3 a.m., that's early hours of the day, we had news coming out on NZD. We had to do with the annual budget release. Now, we all know that's actually a speech. And then by 8:15, we had news coming out on Euros, the French flash manufacturing PMI and the French flash service PMI. It came out good and neutral for the currency, which was more of a partial buy. Then by 8:30, the German flash manufacturing PMI came out too, and it was not good for euros, you understand? And around that point, on euros, for those of us that were on euros that traded that currency, you discover that it moved down, it spiked down because I was on it and I saw the way it moved. And also, some of the things we need to understand is some of these instruments or news, whenever it comes, there are some certain instruments it affects. So for some of us that would have seen DE30 or DE40 yesterday, as at the very time this news was released, there was also a reaction on it because DE40 is a German in stock, you understand, indices, the DE40, you understand. So news like this, and in Germany, we all know the currency they spend euros. So whenever there's news coming out on euros, some of this news affects some of this instruments. Now, we also had the news that came out by 9 p.m. of flash manufacturing PMI and flash service PMI, then the German info business climate. So it didn't come out well too, came out neutral and negative, saying that we should sell. And we know what that means when it's coming out as neutral. Neutral is also referred to as a partial buy, while red is negative. So in situations like this, we advise you just stay off that market. Then by 9:30, we had the GBP flash and manufacturing PMI coming out to also came out the same way, saying we should sell, at the same time it's neutral. Then by 1:30, we had news coming out on USD unemployment claims. It came out neutral, you understand, even though it was stating that those that claim to be unemployed is lesser than the forecast, you understand. Forecast was saying around 230,000 people, while the actual came out as 227,000, you understand. And yeah, we could still look at it like, yeah, it's good, but not that really strong, because if you look at the difference, it's just around 3,000 or something or so. Or if we look at it based on the previous information, you say 229,000 claimed not to be unemployed, and now it's 227,000. So it's almost around the same level. But by 2:45, we had news coming out on flash manufacturing PMI and flash service PMI on USD. You understand? On USD. And when that news actually came out, it came out good for USD, saying that you should buy USD. And funny enough, since yesterday in the morning, USD had actually started showing signs of being strong. And that's why you discovered on instrument like USD JPY, USD CHF, they all went up yesterday. An instrument like Euro USD coming down. Yes, it came down massively. In fact, all through yesterday until this morning before the whole thing started changing. So if you look at it now, let's look at our currency strength meters, because that will also help us in getting what is happening. So as of this morning now, if you look at it, you discover that the USD is weak. You understand? In fact, interestingly, yesterday in the morning, JPY was full. It was even the strongest instrument as of yesterday. All of a sudden, USD started gaining strength. You understand? And everything all moved up, pushed up to the buying side. Everything was just moving up for USD, understand? Gained strength massively, and we saw that USD went up. Then by 3 p.m., we have the existing home sales. Then 7:30 p.m., the Canadian governor, that's BOC, Bank of Canada governor, Macklin, he spoke. And by 11:45 p.m., the retail sales on NZD quarter to quarter came out, and the news came out good for them. The report came out good for them. Now, if you look at all the information that came out, go and look at the chart, you discover that yes, there was actually a response to it. Market moved in one way or the other in line with that. So let's look at what is coming out for this morning. We already know that news came out on GBP. That's for the retail sales month to month, although it wasn't that massive. It came out good for GBP anyway, but it didn't really move with much volatility like that. And today we are still expecting another volatile news by 1:30 on Canadian dollars. That's the core retail sales month to month and the retail sales month to month. You understand? So by 1:30, we know the drill, we know how to do it. Let's just wait and see what the market is going to do. Is it going to buy or sell? Then we'll follow in that line based on the actual. Then by 3 p.m., we have the new home sales. That also is another news, but it's medium impact, you understand? So there are all other news too ahead that is going to push, you understand? Okay. So, well, some of the other things we need to look at, because these are not just the only news. We can see based on the news and latest stories from 8 minutes ago is saying Japan and Prime Minister presses Trump on tariff ahead of new talks. And yes, they are going to be having some new talks. So if the talk does not go well, we should know that on instrument like USD JPY, there's going to be massive move, you understand? depending on what the discussion they have, you understand? Depending on the discussion that is being spoken on, or whatever discussion they have on this tariff. If it goes and it favors both sides, yes, we'll see a reaction on the market. And if it doesn't, it's no, just like we received the information when they said, okay, US is going to reduce the tariff from 145 to 30%. All in all, we saw the way US gained strength, and Japan too. They also reduced theirs, so China to reduce their to 10%. You understand? But all the same, too, let's just watch out for some of this information, because currently we'll discover that the market is actually moving based on what is happening in the market, the trade wars and the likes and the treasury views, all those informations coming out. You understand? Whenever it's being released, you see the market is moving. So currently the market is moving based on fundamentals. So how strong are you in terms of getting information is what matters now. And how well can you interpret the information that is being released? If you're able to get this information and interpret it the right way, surely the market is going to move in your favor, because you know what to do, either to buy or to sell. You understand? But be that as it may, the market still move technically. So we're going to be looking at the market now technically, and we'll see what the market has been doing and what will emphasize. Is it going to buy or sell? Okay, so first thing first, you know the drill. We'll start with currencies, then we'll move to commodities. After that, we'll move to stock. So as of today, some of the things I'm going to be doing is hopefully today I'll talk on a new instrument on commodities. For a while we've not looked at some of these instruments. It's always been just one. So on commodities, let's look out for let's just have it at the back of our mind. Today I'll be talking about coffee. You understand? I'll talk about coffee too. But first thing first, let's look at currency. So I'm sharing my screen to us now. So let's see. Okay. On. So yes, looking at currency now, we'll start with Euro USD. Okay, let's go to Euro USD. Let's look at what Euro USD is actually doing as of now. Okay, Euro USD. All right. So I'm on Euro USD. Right. Okay. So based on what we are seeing now, this is on my higher time frame, and we'll discover that for a while price has actually been going up. It's been doing this lower low, lower high, and the likes, and we've seen it based on the trend. This is on my daily time frame. You can see it got to this point. This came down, got to this point. Price respected this zone, and it went up. You understand? On getting up, came back down, tested this particular support, pushed up again, came down a little. Now, price has been retracing, reversing, up and down, up and down. So based on what we're seeing now, this is on my daily time frame. I'm expecting price to get to this particular point. You understand? To get to this point. But first thing first, we also have a minor zone. There's a minor resistance zone around this point. You understand? There's a minor resistance zone around this point. So price might easily get to this particular section here and even reverse back a little. It could decide to reverse back a little before it now peaks that bullish movement up to this point, covers that point. And if possible, okay, so around this point, this is what I'm saying here, around this point, we could have price get to this point and reverse back down, you understand, just to gain more strength. And once that happens, if it's able to gain more strength, I expect it to push or break over this point, get to this particular section here. This is on my daily time frame. And if you're looking at it this way, as far as price is gaining more strength on euros, we could expect price to break above that point. Price could break above this particular section. Based on what we're seeing, price could break above this particular section. Yes. And looking at it, I'm trying to go back in time to see the last time price got to that particular section. Let's see. Okay. So based on what we're seeing now, the last time price got to this particular zone was in okay, the last time price got here was Wow. This was around 2021. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time. This is 2025. So if price is getting up to this point again, it could break it. And if it breaks it, then we know that, okay, fine, we're expecting price to still push up. But pending that, let's hold on for a minor reversal based on what I'm saying here. If price gets to this point, let's hold on for a minor reversal. But if euros is stronger, we could have price break above this point, then it's coming over to this point. And for me, I even expect it to get up to this particular section because as at yesterday, what we saw yesterday was just a pullback. Yes, was a pullback. You understand? That was what we saw yesterday, a pullback. So now this morning, price is reversing back to the upside. It's reversing back to the upside. So what our advice is, look out for a best position for what? For a buying trade on Euro USD. Look out for a buying position on Euro USD. That's what I would advise. Look out for the best point to go for that buy. But around this point now, I won't advise you enter that point because that particular zone, based on what we're saying, this is on my 1 hour time frame. Discover the last time price got there, it ranged. You understand? Price range. So let's hold on and see what price is going to do. Is it going to break above this particular section? If price is able to break above it, then we could go for that particular buy. You understand? So what am I expecting now? Around this particular section where you're seeing, okay, this is this price is able to get to this particular section or even break above this section, then we could go for that particular buy. You understand? But if that does not happen, okay. So that's that on that. Let's look at another instrument. Let's look at another instrument. We'll be looking at Euro USD now. Let's look at Euro USD. Okay. With us. No, sorry. Let's look at USD card. Sorry, USD card. Okay. So USD card then. Yes, we're on USD card. And as we can see, the strength of dollars is dropping currently. So around this point is a sensitive point because price could do a double bottom. You can see where it is. It's very close to that point. It could do a double bottom, and we know what that means when we're talking about price doing double bottom. It could reverse back to the upside. Once it closes at that point, double bottom, you could have price pushing back to the upside. So around this point, the best thing to do is to wait and see what that candle is going to do. Is it going to close at exact point or is going to break it? If it breaks it, then fine. And it could also be a minor fake. So just hold on for price around this particular point on USD card. This is on my 1 hour time frame. If it closes at that particular section, if price closes at that section, that's a strong zone, a strong demand zone. So we could have price pushing back to the upside. But if it's able to break it below, you understand? If price is able to break that particular section downwards, you understand? We could have price going back to the upside, downside, continuation of that price going down. You can see based on the support and resistance, you can see based on the information, this is a strong demand zone. So let's hold on for price to either break below this particular section and close below. If once price is able to close below that section successfully, then we can go for that sell price, you understand, continuation of sell. But if it doesn't happen that way, we could have price reversing back to the upside. And just like I normally inform clients, I say, see, one of the things I've discovered about this market is price moves or it revolves around support and resistance. So the opening and closing of your candle also determines the kind of trade you're going to place. Now, part of the things you look out for is where the candle is going to close. You understand? In fact, it's very, very important to know where your candlestick is going to close. Once you see where it's closing, it's going to refine your decision on how to place that trade. So around this point, we can see price is on a support. You understand? A strong demand zone. So what you need to do is to what? Wait. Is it going to break below? Breaks below this particular shaded part that you're seeing now successfully, then you could hold on for a minor reversal or a retracement, you understand? So once price gets back into this zone, you understand, it closes bullish and gets back into this zone, you could have a continuation of that move, reversing back. As far as it's not breaking that zone, you could have the reversal, continuation, straight down to the downside. But unless that is done, you could you could hold on, or you might see that price might not move in that line. Well, we're just envisaging to see, but basically, technically, I'm expecting price to go down. But before I'll go for that sell, we need to hold on for price to break below this part. But all in all, I'm expecting USD CAD to drop. That's my own bias. I'm expecting USD CAD to drop. I'm expecting a sell on USD CAD. Okay, so if we look at it, even based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, can you see price has actually been dropping for a while now? It's been giving us that lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and yesterday it pulled back. You understand? This is on daily time frame. It pulled back. You can see it, and it's still coming down. So yes, I expect this particular market to go down massively, get down to this point. Now, once it gets down to this particular section here, this is on my daily time frame, we could hold on a little, because you see, one of the things I've discovered with currencies is this: currencies respect zones more. So once you see price around a zone, wait, hold on and see what price wants to do. So if it gets into this particular section, we need to wait first. But if it's able to break below it, then we know that yes, there could be a continuation on that bearish move. Okay, so that's that on USD CAD. That's that on USD CAD. Okay, so let's look at another currency pair. Let's look at another currency pair. Let's go for USD JPY. Let's go for USD JPY. All right. So this is it on USD JPY too. Looking at it, this is on 1 hour time frame. And if you look at it based on the indicator, you're seeing the support, the resistance. You can see, look at how it's been giving us. There's even, you can look at it based on that indicator, you can see the trend. It's been a downward trend. It's been a massive one, a massive push to the downside. And you discover that whenever it gets down, minor pullback, continuation again, another minor pullback. Yesterday was the time for that minor pullback, and today again is giving us that vibes that what market is going down. You understand? It's giving us that vibe that the market is going down. So let's wait and see what it's going to do. Is it going to continue that line? You understand? Because currently on the 1 hour time frame now, I'm not going to advise you to go for any sell again, that you should go for sell. You understand? Because price now is close to this zone. You understand? So we could hold on for price to do some certain things, like what? A reversal, a pullback. You understand? Based on what we're saying, let's hold on for price to pull back a little. Now, if it's able to pull back successfully, then we could have a continuation of that move. But until that is done, do not rush. Do not rush. That's the advice I have for us, because once you rush in, you rush out. That's the truth. You rush in, you rush out in this market. So let's hold on and see what is going to happen. Price is currently on a demand zone here. So is price going to close there, or is going to continue that move? This is on my 1 hour, and if you look at it on daily time frame, based on what we're saying, we can also see yes, price is still dropping. Based on what we've seen, price got to this point, came down to this point, now it has pulled back up. Is it going to come down? So the last time price got here, it got broken. So let's wait and see, is price getting to that point? And if price should break this particular zone down, we could have a continuation of that move. But let's wait and see what is going to happen. Is price going to break it? Well, this is a daily time frame, and from this point to this point, even on the lower time frame, is still a long time. It's a long time, you understand? So we look at it based on 1 hour. Based on what we're seeing on 1 hour, let's hold on for price to break below this particular section. Once it's able to break below it, then we put that continuation in that direction. Okay, so let's look at USD CHF. Let's look at USD CHF too. Let's see what is happening on this particular instrument. Okay, with us. Right. Okay. Now, this is USD CHF. So this is on 1 hour time frame too. All right. So if you look at it for a while, price has actually been dropping, drops down, has a pullback, continuation, and the likes like that. Now, the same thing is occurring here. Yesterday, we had price pushing back to the upside. In fact, it ranged at a point. And you know, one of the interesting thing about this market is this, that we've always informed us. Whenever you see a ranging market, kindly hold on, because in a ranging market, that's a correction zone. After the correction, it will pick a direction. So it ranged a little, yeah, yesterday morning, from day before yesterday to yesterday morning, it was still within that ranging zone. Then later it broke out, and very moment it broke out, we've always advised, once you see price breaking out of a particular zone, you do what? You go for your buy. And if you look at it around this point, there was more of, look at it, looking at this candle and this particular candle, this was a candle showing us that price was going up because it engulfed this bearish candle that formed here. And from there, it went up till late. Yeah, yesterday it moved on. It was later in the day that it started dropping. Yeah, before the end of the day, it started dropping. Until this morning, it's still dropping, and we expect it to continue in that line. But currently, it's falling into that zone again. So we need to hold on for price. Is it going to break below it? As far as it doesn't break below this part, we could have price range. Yeah, these are some of the options we could see. We could see price ranging around this zone, or we could have price reversing back to the upside. And another option is it could decide to just range a little, then pick the bearish direction and push it down, break that zone, continuation in that line. You understand? So these are some of the things that could affect the market. Okay. All right. So we've done USD CHF. Let's look at GBP USD. Let's look at GBP USD. GBP USD. Go for GBP USD. Yes. Still with us. Okay. We're on GBP USD now. Okay. So looking at GBP USD, this is on 1 hour time frame. We discovered that price is actually pushing up. You understand? Based on what we're saying, price is pushing up on GBP USD. But currently where price is a supply zone. So let's hold on and see what is happening. This is on 1 hour time frame. Looking at it on the daily time frame, can you see? Just like I said, is a strong supply zone. Can you see on the daily time frame now, based on what we're saying, it's more or less like price is trying to break above this particular section. And you see, once price breaks to a new high, in fact, let's look at this. Okay. Now it's been long. It's been long. The last time it got to around this particular point, it's been long. Let's look at it. I'm coming around this particular section before the last time it got there was in 2022, based on what we're seeing here. Yes, 2022. Then this other part, yeah, that's beginning of the year 2022 was when it got to this part. Can you see? So we need to have, one of the things we need to do is this: when price is breaking a particular zone back to get to another section, we need to hold on, because around that point, because it's getting to that high for the very first time in a long while, you could have price reversing back a little before it now gathers that momentum and pushes to the upside. But well, all in all, I'm still expecting a bullish movement on this particular instrument. And some of the things that could be affecting that decision, or my own opinion, is based on the fact that dollars is actually weak. The only reason we are seeing dollars being strong, I would say, is politically and sentimentally based on information or news that is being released. But anything outside that, currently dollars is weak due to all the whole trade wars and every other thing. You understand? Dollars is actually weak. And you discover that for some times now, we are beginning to see that some of these other countries, based on what we are seeing, like BRICS coming in, we are beginning to see some strong economies also trading in their own local currency now. Let's take, for instance, like in Nigeria now, one of the things we need to know is Nigeria is one of the big boys when it comes to OPEC oil, you understand? And currently, based on the latest information we are getting now, yesterday, the information I got, nationwide, Dangote has also reduced the price of fuel. You understand? And if he has reduced the price of fuel again, you know what that means? You understand? It's going to affect. And part of the reason why they are reducing the fuel price is one of the reasons that was stated based on the information that was read is they are now trading crude oil in what? In Naira. You understand? So you see, it's also part of the reason why you discover that for some like 2 or 3 days now, we're getting information that Naira is also gaining strength. Some of these things are part of the things that is happening. You understand? And if Naira is also gaining strength against the US dollars, it means, yes, something is happening. Dollars is falling based on some certain business or transactions that is being done in some strong sectors or sections of the economy. So that's that. So for me, I just believe dollars is currently weak. If it's strong, you're doing it based on politics or sentiment. You understand? That's that. And some of the business transactions that is happening, these are some of the things that could affect price of dollars to what? To fall. So let's come back to GBP USD. Just look at it again. So I'm expecting price to what? To break above this particular zone. You understand? But for that to happen, let's hold on and see, because you can see that price is still respecting that zone. But once he's able to break above this successfully, we could have a continuation in that direction. Okay, so that's that. That's that for that. Let's now move to commodities. Let's move to commodities. Let's move to commodities. So on commodities now, we'll talk about gold, we'll talk about oil. Then we'll also look at, I also do, just like I promised, I said, I'm going to be talking about coffee today. I'm going to be talking about coffee today. So let's start with gold. So I'm on gold now. And as we can see, as of this morning, gold is what? Gold is pushing up. Yesterday, all through, only from this particular high, it went down. And look at it. You discover, can you see what price is doing here? Some of the things we need to understand is this price, like I said, revolves around support and resistance. Look at what gold did yesterday. Very interesting. Look at it. When it picked up day before yesterday, it got to this particular high as at yesterday's morning. It respected that zone. You understand? Respected that zone and did what? Came back down. Got back to this particular section. Now it has respected. Now look at what it's doing now. It's pushing up and it's getting back into. I'm expecting to get to this zone and even break it. I'm expecting to break it. And yes, we all know that gold reacts to dollars. But as of now, a lot of, based on the information we are seeing, like I've said, the market is moving fundamentally. Everything that is happening is based on news, based on business transactions, decisions that is being made by some of these economic powers. That's what has been affecting gold. Gold has actually been moving based on all these news, you understand? But if we're looking at it based on these zones now, it's actually trying to get to that particular supply zone again. So I would say we need to be very, very careful about placing a trade. Let's hold on and see what it's going to do. Is it going to buy or sell? But even if we are looking at it, because it's close to this particular section, supply zone, based on what we're seeing on candle zero, if it closes bearish, if it closes bearish in this particular point, I will say I will expect it to still push up. If it closes bearish on candle zero, I'll expect it to push up. But if that is not the case, we might not have it that way, you understand? But let's look at what is going to happen first. And yeah, we still have some few minutes to 9, you understand? These are around 3:36. So I'll say we have like 20, is it around 24 minutes or so or something? Yeah. So we could see price. No, I'll be 14 minutes. Yeah, we could see price pushing up to that side and see what will happen. But let's hold on and see. Is it going to push up based on it? Because that candle still has time to close. So, like I said, opening and closing of the candles determine. So, if it closes in this particular zone, we need to hold on for it first. Let price make its decision. Is it going to break above it? If it breaks above it, then we can join in the bullish move. But if it doesn't break above that section, we need to wait. Okay, all right. So that's that on gold. That's that on gold. Let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. Okay, so I'm on oil now. Oil. So this is oil. I, for one, just like I just talked about oil now based on price of oil and everything, I still expect the price of oil to drop. Expect the price of oil to drop. Some of my, I would say part of my bias is because we've discovered that A lot of countries now are beginning to dive into crude oil, beginning to look at how they have their own refineries and all those things. That's one. And we have other countries now beginning to do their own, like produce their own oil in their country. And because of that too, it's going to reduce. And another thing we need to understand is this. As far as oil is going to be the supply is going to be very, very high. The supply is going to be higher than the demand. Now, yes, we know that the demand is also high for oil, but if the supply for it is also higher, part of it, some of the things that will affect it will drop. Another reason it's going to drop is because look at China, for instance. China has been one of the major consumers of oil, but currently their demand for oil has drastically reduced because they are now diving into what the use of energy like solar energy and the likes, electric cars, production of electric cars and the likes. You see, so because of that, most whatever it is on their demand for oil and everything has reduced. You understand all those things like that. So for me, I'm still expecting the price of oil to drop. That's my own bias anyway, my own opinion. I'm expecting the price of oil to still continue to drop. But how are we going to do that technically to expect it to drop? Wait for it to break below this particular section that's been mapped out for us. Once it's able to break below this section, good and fine, we could go. I'm looking at it from my daily time frame now. Let's see. Oh, sorry for that. Sorry for that. There was a glitch on the network and it has disconnected. I'm coming back. Okay, so I'm with us again. Sorry. Got disconnected. Okay. I'm still with us, please. Just had a network glitch. Okay. So I'm back on this. Okay. Okay. So I want to believe everybody can hear me clearly, please. Sorry. All right. I'm coming. Okay. Stay with us. All right, I'm coming, please. I need to see what is happening here. It's disconnecting. The network is disconnecting. I'm sorry for that, please. It's just a network glitch. But I'm working on it now. Right, we'll work on it so we can get everything back online. Sorry for that little glitch. Okay. Okay, with us. Still with us, please. All right, just let's hold. Okay. All right. So sorry for the whole disconnecting and everything. Well, okay. All right, so I'm with us now. I'm back on this same oil again. I'm back on it now. All right. So, like I said, my bias on oil is for it to drop. But for that, I'll just say, please let's hold on and see. Let it break below this particular shaded part for us before we'll go. And if you look at it, based on what we are saying here, let me zoom out. Saying that price has gone up for a while. It has just been between these 2 points for a while. But yes, I'm expecting it to break below this part. You understand? When he got here, he did a minor pull up. You understand? This is on on my 1 hour time frame. He did this part pull up to this particular zone. Now he's dropping back. So yes, once he's able to break below this zone successfully, it's going down. I expect price of oil to sell. That's my take on oil. I'm expecting a massive fall on oil. And once it starts falling from here, it should get down to around this point, you understand? But it depends on us Well, it depends on us on how long we can stay and the proceeds we have in our accounts. You understand? So that's that on oil. So the next instrument I'm going to talk about is now let's go to coffee. Let's go to coffee. Let me look for coffee. Yes, coffee. I'm going to talk about this. So once in a while now, we'll be talking about some of these instruments. Yes, that's how we'll do it. We'll begin to look at some of these instruments because for a while we just discovered that we've always looked at some of these instruments on one part, on one part. But one of the things we need to do is let's explore other instruments and see. You discover that some of these instruments could actually be very, very profitable for us. You understand? So on coffee now, let me give us this explanation. Some of the things we need to know about coffee. Remember, I told you coffee is more is commodities. When we talk about commodities, commodities are economic instruments. You understand? And because they are economic instrument, we have some certain things that affects them. Now, for coffee, now because it is an economic instrument and it's more of an agricultural instrument. First thing first, one of the things you need to look out for is look out for some of the countries that are the largest producers of what? Of coffee. Look out for some of the countries that are largest producers of coffee. You understand? Once you're able to see some of these things, it could help in making your decision about placing some of those trades. You understand? Trades on coffee. Okay, I'm with us. Um, and another thing we need to understand is how it works. You understand? What is pushing it to either buy or sell? You understand? Now, this is it. Some of the things we need to understand is for some of these instruments, for some of these instruments, yes, for some of these instruments, one of the things we need to understand is we have Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, Indonesia. These are countries that produces coffee, Ethiopia, Honduras. Now, in fact, to make it interesting, the birthplace of coffee is Ethiopia, but currently the highest producer of coffee is Brazil. You understand? They are the largest producers of coffee, both for the Arabic and the Robusta beans and everything. They are the largest producers. You understand? And what are some of the things, or one of the things that affects coffee that we need to know is this. One of the things that affects coffee is the weather. You understand? That's one thing that affects coffee. You understand? One of the things that affects coffee is what? The weather. You understand? The weather affects coffee, like climate and everything. Once there's cold or it's dry, all those things, it affects coffee. So these are part of the things I will advise. I'm not going to read it to us. I'll just advise you go and look at how the weather climate affects coffee. Then you know when to place your buy or to place your sell on some of these instruments. You understand? Like coffee now, you know how to place your trade on it. Then but let's look at how to trade it. Let's look at it technically and see what exactly we're expecting to happen on coffee. You understand? Let's look at it technically. You know, but please and please, let me now give us this advice. You know that yes, you do not have a good sum. You understand? You don't have a substantial amount in your account. Please stay away from coffee. But you have a good amount that can actually help you to trade, then you can go with coffee. You can go with coffee. You understand? So for coffee now, you discover that for some time now, based on 1 hour time frame, it's been ranging. It's been ranging. Now is in this demand zone. You understand? Is having issues, strong issues, is still pushing down. I, for one, I'm expecting the price of coffee to come down. Technically, I'm expecting it to come down. It's still going to break below that part. You understand? I'm expecting it to come down below this particular section. But because it's still within this zone, let's hold on because we could have price have pulling back a little. But yes, I'm still expecting the price of coffee to what? Continue moving down. I'm expecting a massive push to the downside on coffee. You understand? So what our advice is look out for a very good point or good moment to go for that bearish move on coffee. That's that on coffee anyway. So let's look at wheat. Let's see wheat. Let's look at wheat. Let's look at wheat. Yes. Okay. So we are on wheat now. I'm looking at wheat based on what we're seeing technically. Price of wheat has gone up for a while, dropped a little, pulling back the upside. I'm still for me, based on what I'm seeing now, price is ranging on wheat. It's just ranging between this particular section and this section. Let me draw that out so we see this is one point, and this is another point here that we're seeing. Price has just been ranging between this particular point, these two section on wheat. So let's wait for it. Let it pick a direction. And when I mean let it pick a direction, let it close above or below this particular. If it closes above this region, then it means it's going to the upside. But if it closes below this region, then we're expecting it to what? Sell. So let's wait and see. Is it going to break above it? Once it breaks above, and when I mean break above, candlestick should go outside this particular section and close. Then we could have that price buying. You understand? But if that does not happen, we need to hold on because it's just down ranging between these two zones now. You understand? So that's that for wheat. Let's now go to indices. Let's go to indices. We look at US 100, US 2000. Then there'll be opportunities for us to ask our questions and we'll pick it from there. Okay? All right. So let's do that first. So we'll go to US 100. Okay. It's in US 30. I'm still with us, please. Searching for. Okay, US 100 it is here. So US 100. Now this is it. There was a massive fall as at yesterday on day before yesterday on US 100. Then after that, a minor push up. And I think what part of the things that affected it was based on that news that came out around 2:45 yesterday, because it came out good for US the currency, it was good for dollars. Then we now have this massive drop again, the massive push, you understand? A push and drop and all those things like that affects basically news, you understand, on USD, volatile news on USD affects the indices or index of the US economy. Now, as of this morning, we can see that price is actually still within this same point, but it's pushing up on USD. Now, is it going to break above? If it pushes to the upside, are we expecting it to still move on? Well, based on the fact, based on my own bias, that yes, we all know that the US currency or the currency is weak. You understand? Basically, it's weak. I'm expecting it to what? To push up. I'm expecting the US 100 index to what? To push to the upside. That's my own. But it's coming into this particular zone here now. We also need to be very, very careful because price is close to that point. We shouldn't rush into that part. But I, for one, based on my own bias, I still expect the price to what? To push up on US 100. That's my take. I'm expecting price to push up on US 100. So US 30 now. Let's look at US 30. These are all US indices or index, you understand? It's for US 30, it's almost like it's ranging. And you see in a ranging market, we've all said, it's more of a correction zones. And because these are correction zones, we need to be very, very calm before taking a decision on it. You understand? We need to be very, very calm before taking a decision. Let's hold on and see what price is going to do. Is it going to pick a particular direction? Once it picks that direction, then we follow. If it doesn't, we hold on till it gives us that green light. US 2000 and the likes, all of them, they are just giving us that same vibe. But one thing is for sure, once it picks the direction now, it's going to move in that line. I, for one, based on my own bias, I'm still expecting the price to push up. Yeah. I'm expecting it to feel all these points we are seeing here, all these points. So I'm expecting it because this was a massive drop, you understand? So I'm expecting price to push up back to this whole point, you understand? So indices, based on my own bias, I'm expecting price to what? recover back. Whatever goes up will come down. Whatever comes down to will surely go back where? Surely go back up. Just that we don't know the time, the amount of time, or how fast it's going to do that. But based on what I'm saying, once it's able to cross above this particular section, I'm expecting it to what? To go to the upside. All right, so let me use this opportunity because I can see that for some of us, we're already dropping some questions or some instruments for me to look at. So I'll look at it. Let's see. All right, so I've talked about wheat, I've talked about US 2000, yes, because I saw the time Mr. DME dropped it around 825, and I talked about it of just now. Mr. Alariwa, US 100, US 2000, which I've done. Okay, Victor Edo Ojo, you're saying we should look at DE40. Okay, let's look at what is happening on DE40. Let's see what is happening on DE40. Okay, so let's look at that. I'm on it. All right, so we will discover that as of this morning, based on what we are seeing, D40 has pushed up to this particular part, up to this high side. You know, when it dropped here, it pushed up. Now it has pushed up to this part. Am I expecting it to go up? Well, for indices, like we all know, based on personal buyers, it's been more of a buying instrument, you understand? But currently, based on what we're seeing here, is on a zone. It's on a zone. And because it's on that zone, I will advise you what you wait. Wait for what price to break above that particular zone. If it's able to close above that zone, then we could go for that buy. And can you see that's what we're seeing here? And price is already having issues around that point. So unless price is able to break above this particular session, we could have price coming back down. The last time price got to that particular point, price dropped. I believe we are saying that. Got to this particular zone, did that. Now it's back in that same section again, and price is beginning to struggle. So if as far as price is unable to break above this particular section, we will have price dropping. That's that on D40. That's my take. You understand? So, okay, so let's look at these. Kenny says, please remind people that of the huge sum that needs to be in account before going for coffee. You lost a huge sum on it. Yes, I just said that. I remember I spoke about that even before reading this. After I finished on talking on coffee, I said it. I said, anybody that wants to trade coffee, please have a good amount, a good proceed in your account. Once you're able to do that, yes.
It's like how much? Like how much?
It depends on you. I can't tell you how much you need to have, sir. But have a good sum. When you're talking about commodity, one of the things I need you to understand is this. When we talk about commodity, one of the good things is you should have a good proceed. I'll say from 800 and above. You understand? In fact, if you have up to ₦1 million from 700, 800, 900, 1 million and above, you're good to go with coffee. You understand? And I'll also advise, don't use a huge lot size. You understand? At most, just do your 0.01 risk management. That's what I will advise you. You understand? Because one of the things that affects a lot of people is this. They just like, because it's going, I want to make this money once. You want to make 10 billion in one day. And you see them using a huge sum, use a huge lot because they feel like, I have the money there. But no, don't do that. Start with a small, low lot size. 0.01 is good enough to start. You understand? And from there, you can push it up. Okay? Okay, so let's look at okay, Olufowo Bamishe is saying GBP JPY Euro CHF. Okay, let's look at that GBP JPY. Okay, Modesta Odo, you're raising your hand. Please go to the chart section. Just drop the chart for me so I'll be able to look at that from the chart section for you. You understand? Okay, let's go to the chart and see that. It's going to work out for us there. Okay, GBP JPY. Let's look at GBP JPY. Let's see what is happening on GBP JPY. I'm on that. GBP JPY. Okay, so this is GBP JPY. Okay. So basically, this is on my 1 hour time frame, and you discover that for a while now, price has been dropping on GBP, JPY until yesterday. That price pushed up, and this morning it got to that particular zone again. That's the resistance zone. You understand? Got there and it's dropping. Price is trying to push back. And as far as price is unable to break above this particular section, we're still expecting price to what? To drop down. And one of the things we need to know is this: on instrument like this, currencies generally, they respect zones. You understand? They respect zones. And one way or the other, JPY is actually strong. It's for one reason or the other, JPY has been strong based on some of their business, economic business or deals they've been having. You understand? And even on the trade wars and everything, yeah, it's been affecting them positively. And if you look at it generally around the whole of Africa, you've been having more of China and Japanese countries doing more business. They've been thriving well. So that has actually made that currencies to what? To be strong. So GBP, JPY, what we're just saying here could be a minor push up to this point. So let's just look out for a very good opportunity for sale around this section. Once we're able to get that, you'll see price dropping. That's that. So GBP, JPY, I'm envisaging a drop in price. You understand? Then Euro CHF, Euro CHF, Euro CHF. Let's look at Euro CHF. Okay. I'm with us. Okay. Euro CHF it is. I'm on Euro CHF. Yeah. Okay. So come in. Okay. So this is what we are seeing on Euro CHF. This is what we are seeing on Euro CHF. This is what we're seeing on Euro CHF. And if you look at it, based on what we're seeing now, I'm zooming out so we look at it. Price currently is more or less like it's been moving sideways, just between these 2 points. So we need, now what we are having between that 2 points is more, I'll say, an internal support and resistance within these 2 points. Price has actually done that movement just between this 1 point and 0.2, you understand? So it's just been here, going up and down between that point. So it's more of internal support and resistance. And based on what we're seeing here, price has got into a zone here. If you look at it, there's a zone here, and you can see price did not break above that zone. And that's why you're seeing price now starting with this bearish move. Yes, at the end of the day, price could still come back to break that point. You understand? This is a strong point, but because price is directly on that point, I would say you hold on first. If price is able to break above this section, then we are having it coming back to this upside on Euro CHF. But if that does not happen, then we could see price dancing or ranging around this point. Okay, so yes, we've come to the end of this particular class. Okay, Johnson, Olujiwegbe, you're saying you use MT4. You use MT4, and the support and resistance indicator is different. Yeah, it's different from that of MT5 because it's not the same thing. Yeah, now asking, do you advise you migrate to MT5? It's just a matter of your choice. You understand? MT4 and MT5 is still the same thing. MT5 is just an upgrade of MT4, but the same way your MT4 is running, that's the same way your MT5 is running. Okay. All right. So that's that on this particular today's morning market review. Thank you.
Hello.
Very much.
Hello.
Thank you. We've come to the end of morning market review. Thank you very much, please.
Yeah, I'm not answered me, sir.
The support and resistance here looks very easy to follow.
Please check the chat box. So I dropped a question there.
All right. So, like I said, we've come to the end of the class. Thank you very much. I've answered your question, Mr. Johnson. You're asking a question on support and resistance. It's still the same thing. There's no difference. There's no difference. The same way you're saying it. On MT4, it shows as line. But for MT5, it's bringing out, shading the sections for you. But it's still the same thing as the support.
Yes, that's how.
All right. At this junction, I'm not answering any question again. Let's call it a day. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Finish.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much.
But he said drop the question on the chat, and he doesn't look at the chat again.
Well done. Actually tried. Thank you.
It is well.